press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome to the discussion on NEET Tech class. Question number 46 is trend in ionization enthalpy of a transition element is not regular because ಅಂದರೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಷನ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಅಯೋನೇಷನ್ ಎಂಥಾಲ್ಪಿ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ ಅದು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಇದು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. Ionization energy in case of transition elements is not, this trend is not regular. Why? So option 1, removal of one electron alters the relative energies of 4s and 3d orbitals. So for the question number 46, so first option is right, since if one electron is removed from 4s orbital, so it alters the energies of 4s and 3d orbital. So as a result of which, the trends in ionization energy also changes. So ಒಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ನೀವು ತೆಗೆದುಬಿಟ್ರೆ 4s ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ ಇಂದ ಎರಡು ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 4s and 3d ಆರ್ಬಿಟಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಎನರ್ಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ionization energy ಕೂಡ ಬೇರೆ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 46, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ರೈಟ್. Then second one is due to difference in electronic configuration stability, poor shielding effect of 3p orbitals center, that is wrong. Both 1 and 2, that is also wrong. Next, let us move on to question number 47. Which of the following element does not show variable oxidation state? So option 1, iron, manganese, then copper, third one copper, and fourth one is zinc. So which of the following element does not show the variable oxidation state? Iron can exhibit different oxidation states. Clear? So oxidation state of an element that depends on the presence of electrons in 4s orbitals, means outermost s orbital, and the electrons, unpaired electrons present in the d orbitals. So in iron, so atomic number is 26, so configuration is 4s2 3d6. So in d6 there are 4 unpaired electrons, hence it exhibits different oxidation states. In case of manganese, so 4s2 3d5. So in case of manganese also, unpaired electrons are present in d orbital, hence it also exhibits different oxidation states. In case of copper, so 4s1 3d10, 4s1 3d10, it exhibits copper +1 and +2 state. Then in case of zinc, so 4s2 3d10 configuration, so it exhibits only the +2 oxidation state. It cannot exhibit different oxidation state. So your answer is zinc for the question number 47. Clear? So zinc cannot exhibit different oxidation state because of the presence of D10 configuration after losing 2 electrons. It exhibits only +2 state. Clear? Next, let us move on to the question number 48. Which fluorine highest stable oxidation state of manganese is? With fluorine, manganese, it can form, question number 48. So fluorine is highly electronegative. Fluorine is highly electronegative, and also it can form only single covalent bond with manganese. It can form only the single covalent bond. But if you consider action it can form a multiple bond, double bond with manganese. That is why they can exhibit the +7 oxidation state. But here, so fluorine, it can form only +4 oxidation state, MnF4. So +4 is highest with fluorine. So reason is because it can form only covalent bonds. So hence your option is second option. So second option, +4 oxidation state is the highest oxidation state of manganese with fluorine. Clear? Next, let us move on to question number 49. With oxygen, highest oxidation state of manganese is. Question number 49. Manganese with oxygen, highest oxidation state. So manganese with oxygen, it can form Mn2O7. So in Mn2O7, so oxidation state of manganese is +7. So why it can form +7 oxidation state? So since oxygen can form double bond with manganese. So this bond is manganese oxygen bond is, so it is the p pi d pi bond. So p orbital of oxygen overlaps with d orbital of manganese. Hence it can form p pi d pi bond. It can form a double bond. So that is why manganese can form +7 oxidation state with oxygen. Clear? So hence first option is right. First option is right for question number 49. Clear? Next, let us move on to the question number 50. Which of the following have highest magnetic moment? So magnetic moment, highest magnetic moment is due to the presence of more number of unpaired electrons. So highest magnetic moment depends on more number of unpaired electrons. So magnetic moment can be calculated by using the formula square root of n into n plus 2 Bohr magnet. So where n is the number of unpaired electrons. So n represents the number of unpaired electrons. Clear? So in case of Fe plus 2, 4s0, 3d6, so n is equal to 4. In case of ferrous ion, then in the second option, Mn plus, in Mn plus, manganese atomic number 25, so here 4s1, 3d5, so therefore n is equal to 6. So 5 unpaired electrons, 1 electron from 4s orbital. The third one is Fe plus 3. In Fe plus 3, some 4s0, 3d5 configuration, so n is equal to 5. Then in case of Fe plus, iron in +1 oxidation state, so 4s2, 3d6 configuration, so 4s1, 3d6. So 4s2, 3d6 is electronic configuration, the ground state, but in Fe plus 1 state, 4s1, 3d6, so it has d6 has, so 4 unpaired electrons, 4 plus 1, 5, n is equal to 5. So hence the highest magnetic moment or maximum magnetic moment is shown by manganese. Clear? Your option is second option. Next, let us move on to question number 51. Species which is paramagnetic. So, paramagnetic property depends upon the presence of unpaired electrons. Question number 51. Paramagnetic property. Paramagnetic property depends on unpaired electrons. Unpaired electrons. Clear? Then species which is paramagnetic, Cr plus. First option, Cr plus. So Cr plus has 4s0 3d5 configuration. So number of unpaired electrons is equal to 5. Since there are 5 unpaired electrons in chromium in plus 1 state, so the unpaired electrons are more, hence it is paramagnetic in nature. Then in the second case, so this is paramagnetic. In the second case, Zn plus 2, zinc in plus 2 state is 4s0 3d10 configuration, n is equal to 0, hence it is not paramagnetic. So third one, Cu plus is 4s0 3d10. So here also n is equal to 0, it is also not paramagnetic. Then fourth one, MnO4 minus. In MnO4 minus, so oxidation state of manganese is equal to plus 7. So therefore 3d 0 is there. Hence here also n is equal to 0. So this is also not paramagnetic. So your option is Cr plus. Clear? Next, let us move on to the question number 52. Inner transition element that is radioactive is. So in case of lanthanoids, starting from cerium to lutetium, all the elements are not radioactive, non-radioactive, except in the case of promethium. So for the question number 52, so PM, so this is promethium. So this is radioactive. Promethium is radioactive. So hence for the question 52, so first option is right. So remaining gadolinium, lutetium and samarium, these are non-radioactive elements. Clear? So gadolinium, lutetium and samarium, these are non-radioactive. So only the promethium is radioactive element. Hence for the question number 52, first option is correct. Next, let us move on to the question number 53. Lanthanoid contraction is responsible for the fact that. So what is meant by lanthanoid contraction? So there is a regular decrease in atomic size from. So for the question 53, so regular decrease in atomic size from lanthanum to lutetium due to poor shielding effect of electrons in 4f orbitals. Poor shielding effect of electrons in 4f orbitals. Clear? So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ 4f orbitals electrons enter ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ so order of screening effect s electrons, more shielding effect, then P, then D, and F. So F electron shows poor shielding effect. So 4f orbital electron shows poor shielding effect. So as a result of which, on moving from 3D to 4D, so atomic size increases. Again, on moving further from 4D to 5D, so because of the presence of 4f orbitals, the atomic size remains same. So remains same. So here zirconium is there, here hafnium is there. Zirconium and hafnium have nearly the same atomic size. Clear? So your option, zirconium and yttrium have about the same radius, that is wrong. Zirconium and so BB ಅಂತ ಕೊಡಿದರೆ, that is wrong. So zirconium have similar oxidation state, that is also wrong. Then third option, zirconium and hafnium have about same atomic radius. Zirconium and hafnium. Hence, for the question number 53, third option is right. Zirconium and zinc have same oxidation state, that is also wrong. Clear? So your option is, so third option for question number 53. Next, let us move on to the question number 54. Size of lanthanoid decrease because of poor screening of, because of the poor screening of. So for the question number 54, so look here, regular decrease in atomic size from lanthanum to lutetium, it is due to poor shielding effect of 4f orbitals. 4f orbitals. So hence your option is, so 4f orbital, this is right. But for actinoid series, so but in actinoid series, so poor shielding effect is due to the presence of electrons in 5f orbitals. Clear? Don't observe madre. Lanthanoids alle, so in lanthanoids, poor shielding effect is observed in 4f orbital. But in actinoids, 5f orbitals. Clear? Hence your option is, so first option for the question number 54. Next question. Question number 55. Strongest base is, question number 55. So on moving from, so lanthanum to lutetium, on moving from lanthanum to lutetium, so lanthanum, cerium, next element that is given, cerium is there, lutetium, ytterbium, and promethium. So lutetium is the last element. So last but one is ytterbium. Clear? Then promethium. So after cerium, promethium comes. Hence, so there is no lanthanum. So cerium, next promethium, ytterbium, lutetium. So on moving from lanthanum to lutetium, so decrease in atomic size. So atomic size decreases. Therefore, covalent character increases. So as the covalent character increases, ionic character decreases. Hence, so therefore, cerium hydroxide, so it is most basic than promethium hydroxide. Then which is more basic than ytterbium hydroxide? So ytterbium hydroxide is more basic than lutetium hydroxide. So here lutetium hydroxide is least basic. it means that basic character decreases. So on going from cerium to lutetium, basic character decreases. So here basic character decreases. Hence highest basic is cerium. So your option is first one. First option is right for question number 55. Clear? So this is also one of the consequences of lanthanoids. Lanthanoid contraction, a consequence. Since the atomic size decreases, covalent character increases. As covalent character increases, basic character decreases. Therefore, cerium hydroxide is most basic, lutetium hydroxide is least basic. Clear? Next, question number 56. Element that is not present in mixed metal is. Element not present in mixed metal is. So for the question number 56. So mixed metals. So look here. Mixed metals composition. So generally, mixed metal contains 95% lanthanoids, 5% iron, and traces of calcium, sulfur, carbon, and aluminum. This is the composition of mixed metal. In addition to this, so lanthanoids, 25% lanthanoids, 50% cerium, and also 50% cerium, 25% lanthanoids, and traces of neodymium and praseodymium plus oxides of iron. So this is the actual composition. 50% cerium, 25% lanthanum, then traces of neodymium and praseodymium. In addition to this, oxides of iron. So look at the given options. Lanthanum. So lanthanum is there. That is right. Iron. So oxides of iron. It is also present. Then cerium is also present, but sodium is not present in mixed metal. So third one, Na, this is wrong. So it is not present in, not present in, andre your option is third option for question number 56. Clear? Next. So another question is, next question. Next question, question number 57. Most stable oxidation state of lanthanoids. So for lanthanoids, the common oxidation state is +3. Most stable oxidation state of lanthanoids. The oxidation state of lanthanoids is +3. Clear? So second option is right for question number 57. So for the question number 57, second option is right. Second option is, so that is +3 oxidation state is correct. So for both the lanthanoids and actinoids, the common oxidation state is +3. Next. Question number 58. So which one of the following pairs of ions have same electronic configuration? For the question number 58. Same electronic configuration is due to same number of electrons. So same electronic configuration is due to is due to same number of electrons. Same number of electrons. Clear? Then in the first option, chromium plus 3, iron plus 3. So chromium plus 3 and iron plus 3, Fe plus 3. Because of the same oxidation state, these elements now differ in their number of electrons. Chromium atomic number 24, so here 21 electrons. In case of iron, so 26 minus 3 means 23 electrons. Due to differ in the number of electrons, they have different electronic configuration. So hence, first one is wrong. Then in the second one, in the second option, Mn plus 2, Fe plus 3. So Mn plus 2 and Fe plus 3. Atomic number of manganese is 25. It loses 2 electrons, so remaining 23. Iron atomic number 26. It loses 3 electrons, remaining 23 electrons. So due to the presence of same number of electrons, they have same electronic configuration. Clear? So second option is right for question number 58. Clear? Then Fe plus 3, cobalt plus 3. So if the oxidation state is same, the elements are different, then definitely that contains differ in the number of electrons. Clear? And also in scandium. Scandium plus 3, chromium plus 3. Scandium atomic number 21 plus 3 means 18. So 21 minus 3, 18. Chromium 24 minus 3, 21. That is also wrong. Clear? Next, let us move on to the question number 59. Dichromate plus X in the presence of an acid medium, Cr plus 3 plus H2O plus oxidized product of X. X in the above reaction cannot. ನೋಡಿ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಟ್ಟ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು. Cr2O7 minus Cr2O7 minus plus X in the presence of H plus Cr plus 3 plus H2O plus oxidized product of X. Oxidized product of X. ನೋಡಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು, ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ X in this reaction cannot, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So in the first case, first option, the oxidizer product of C2O4 minus 2 is, so oxidizer product of oxalate ion is carbon dioxide. Ferrous ion in the second option, Fe plus 2. Oxidized product is Fe plus 3. In case of sulfate, third one, it is your answer. So SO4 minus 2 is not oxidized. Is not oxidized. Sulfate is not oxidized. So this is your answer. And sulfide, fourth one, sulfide is oxidized to sulfur. So look here, oxidized product of X in the reaction cannot, ಯಾವ್ದು oxidation ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ, that is sulfate. Sulfate is not oxidized. Next, let us move on to the question number 60. Reducing nature of any metal in aqueous solution depends upon A, enthalpy of atomization. That is correct. So if you consider Cu plus and Cu plus 2, Cu plus 2, it undergoes hydration to a greater extent. Clear? So hence the release energy during hydration that compensates the ionization enthalpy of Cu plus, the enthalpy of atomization, that is also correct. So the energy required to convert the metal atoms in the crystal lattice into gaseous metal atoms, then ionization enthalpy. So all the three are correct. So for the question number 60, the enthalpy of hydration, enthalpy of atomization, and ionization enthalpies. These are all the three factors which influences the reducing nature of any metal in aqueous state. So both A, B, C, all they are correct. So in your question number 60, so option fourth one is right. So fourth option is correct for question number 60. Reducing nature of a metal that depends on enthalpy of atomization, then enthalpy of hydration, and ionization enthalpy. Clear? So ಮೂರು factor ಕೂಡ reducing nature of metals will depend on. Next, question number 61. Which of the following oxide is basic? Following oxide is basic. Question number 61. Metal oxides in lower oxidation state, these are basic. Particularly +2 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇವು ಬೇಸಿಕ್, ಮತ್ತೆ +3 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ some metal oxides are also basic in +3 state. So metal oxides in +4 state usually amphoteric. So metal oxides in +5, +6 and +7, these are acidic in nature. These are acidic. But in +5 state, vanadium pentoxide is also amphoteric. ಕೆಲವು exceptional case ಇದಾವೆ ನೋಡಿ. CRO. So for the question 61, CRO, it is basic. So your option is correct, CRO. So first option is correct. CR2O3 is amphoteric. Then CrO3 is acidic. And CR2O4 +4 oxidation state, so it is also acidic. CR2O4 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಮೈನಸ್ +4 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಯೂಶಲಿ +4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ CR2O3, +3 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಂಫೋಟರಿಕ್. ಸೊ +4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು acidic nature. Clear? So your option is first one, chromium monoxide. Next, question number 62. Magnetic moment of a transition metal ion is found to be 5.92 Bohr magneton. Number of unpaired electrons present in it is. So look here. Bohr magneton is 5.92 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Magnetic moment. So magnetic moment, it is equal to square root of n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton. Clear? So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ 5.98 ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, so if n is equal to 5, if n is 5 into 5, so 5 plus 2 7 into 5 is 35. So therefore magnetic moment mu is equal to square root of 5 into 5 plus 2, it is equal to square root of 35. Square root of 36 is, it is equal to 6. Square root of 35 is slightly less than 6. So therefore your option is, if n is 5, So Bohr-Magneton is 5.98. So if n is equal to 5, so Bohr-Magneton is 5.98. Clear? So hence your option is fourth one. So for the question number 62, fourth option is correct. Next, question number 63. Which of the following is the consequences of lanthanide contraction? Nodi, lanthanide contraction consequences. One is zirconium and hafnium have almost same atomic and ionic radii. Zirconium and hafnium have almost same atomic and ionic radii. One. So basic character decreases from lanthanum to lutetium. That is also the another consequence. Then one more consequence is it is very difficult to separate the lanthanide elements from the constant mixture. So because of same atomic size, they have similar physical and chemical properties. So due to same atomic size, the ionization enthalpies are same. So because of same ionization enthalpy, chemical properties are same. That is why it is very difficult to isolate the elements from the constant elements from the mixture. So agar ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, first option separation of mixture of lanthanide is difficult, that is right. Basic nature of hydroxides decrease from first member to last member, that is also correct. Size of hafnium and zirconium is different, that is wrong. So hence your option is both 1 and 2. So both 1 and 2. Fourth option is right. So both 1 and 2. So these are correct for the question number 63. For the question number 63. So fourth option is right. Clear? Next, let us move on to the question number 64. N factor of potassium permanganate in neutral medium is in neutral medium. So for the question number 64, potassium permanganate MnO4 minus plus H2O neutral medium plus the electron, so it is converted into MnO2 plus OH minus ions. Since there are 4 oxygen atoms in the left side, therefore it is multiplied by 4 OH minus. Then electrons change. So plus 7 oxidation state of manganese is changed to plus 4. So hence the decrease in oxidation number is 3. So it gains 3 electrons. Hence 3 electrons. Clear? So this is the N factor. So N factor is 3. So hence your option is fourth one. So fourth option is right. So fourth option 3 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So this 3 is the N factor. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ 4 OH minus ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನೋಡಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2H2. Clear? So 4 hydrogen, 6 oxygen atoms, 2 plus 4 6. Balance side. Next, question number 65. Potassium dichromate plus iodide ion plus H plus gives the oxidized product. Oxidizer product is. So look here, question number 65. So potassium dichromate in acid medium. So iodide ion, so it is oxidized to iodine by the loss of 2 electrons to iodine. Potassium permanganate, dichromate, Cr2O7 minus 2 plus 14H plus 6 electrons converted into 2Cr plus 3 plus 7H2. So this is the basic equation. In this reaction, in acid medium, dichromate gains electrons. Substances which can accept electrons are called good oxidizing agents. So hence in this reaction, if it is multiplied by 3, so the final equation is Cr2O7 minus 2 plus 14H plus 6I minus converted into 6 electrons, 6 electrons. So 2Cr plus 3, 2Cr plus 3 plus 3I2 plus 7H2. So here iodide, it is oxidized to iodine. Iodide is oxidized to iodine. So this is in acid medium. But in basic medium, so but in basic medium, so permanganate MnO4 minus that converts iodide to iodide IO3 minus. Permanganate in basic medium oxidizes iodide to iodide. Clear? So dichromate in acid medium oxidizes iodide to iodide. So hence for the question number 65, second option is correct. Second option is so correct for question number 65. Next, let us move on to the question number 66. So which of the following is colored due to charge transfer? Which of the following is colored due to charge transfer? So color of the compound depends upon, so 66, so color depends on presence of unpaired d electrons, and also dd transition, and also presence of solvent molecules, and also the presence of solvent molecules. So color of d block elements, that depends on the presence of incompletely filled d orbitals. So if the element with d0 or d10 configuration, they are always colorless and diamagnetic. So in case of permanganate, so in MnO4 minus, so in the first case, so manganese is in +7 oxidation state, so 3d0 configuration. Hence, so here color is due to charge transfer. So no unpaired electrons. So no dd transition. Hence pink colored potassium permanganate, it is only due to charge transfer. Similarly, in case of second one, CrO4 minus 2, here also 3d0 configuration +68. It is also color is due to charge transfer. So already chromium atom loses 6 electrons. There is no dd transition. So chromate is yellow color. So yellow colored chromate is due to charge transfer. Similarly, in case of Cu2O, so in the third case, Cu2O, so cuprous oxide, so copper in +1 oxidation state. So in +1 oxidation state, 3d10 configuration. So no unpaired electrons. So here also color due to charge transfer. So here also no dd transition takes place. Hence, your option is fourth one, all. So for the question number 66, fourth option is correct. Clear? Nodi. Color depends on dd transition. dd transition ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ incompletely filled d orbitals. If there is no incompletely filled d orbital, but the compound exhibit color, that is due to charge transfer. pink colored potassium permanganate, yellow colored chromate, then red colored cuprous oxide. These are all due to charge transfer. Color is due to charge transfer. Next, question number 67. Coinase metals are. Coinase metals are. Question number 67. Coinase metals. So coinase metals, so 11th group. 11th group. So 11th group means copper, silver and gold. So these are called coinase metals. And these metals are transition metals. Transition metals. Clear? So normal metals wrong, transition metals, that is right. So for the question number 67, second option is correct. Coinase metals. Group 11 metals. Next question number 68. Pyrolusite is used to prepare potassium permanganate. MnO2 to MnO4 minus X, MnO4 minus to MnO4 minus, MnO4 minus 2 to MnO4, X and Y are. X and Y are. Question number 68. Pyrolusite, so MnO2. So on treatment with X, it gives MnO4 minus 2. MnO4 minus 2. This is manganate. This is pyrolusite. Pyrolusite, this is manganate. Then this manganate, it is converted into permanganate, MnO4 minus Y. So what are X and Y? So manganese dioxide is fused with KOH and oxidized with O2 and oxidized with O2 to form manganate. So manganate is dark green colored solution, dark green. This is black in color. Manganese dioxide is black in color. Manganate is green in color. So manganate is obtained. So by the fusion of manganese dioxide with potassium hydroxide in the presence of oxygen, then this manganate, it is treated with an acid H+. So in an acid medium, manganate, it undergoes this proportionation reaction to form permanganate. Or, so this permanganate, it is subjected to electrolytic oxidation. Electrolytic oxidation in alkaline medium. So manganate is converted into permanganate. Clear? So look here. Note it. Fuse with KOH and air, electrolytic reduction. Note, not electrolytic reduction, electrolytic oxidation. Fuse with KOH and air, electrolytic oxidation. So second option is right for question number 68. Second option is correct. Clear? Next. So another question is question number 69. Question number 69. Which of the following is a secondary alkyl halide? Question number 69. Isobutyl chloride. isobutyl chloride. So first one is CH3, CHCS3, CH2, Cl. This is isobutyl chloride. Isobutyl chloride is, this is primary alkyl halide. Primary alkyl halide. Clear? Then second one, isopentyl chloride. Isopentyl chloride. So look here, CH3, CHCS3, CH2, CH2Cl. This is isopentyl chloride. Isopentyl chloride is primary alkyl halide. So reason is halose atom is attached to primary carbon. Here also a halose atom is attached to primary carbon. So therefore, so both are primary alkyl halides. Then neopentyl chloride, third one, CH3, C, CS3, CS3, CH2, Cl. So this is neopentyl chloride. So neopentyl chloride, here also it is primary carbon atom. So therefore it is also primary alkyl halide. And fourth one is isopropyl chloride. Fourth one, isopropyl chloride. So isopropyl chloride is CH3, CH, Cl, CS3. Halose atom is attached to secondary carbon atom. This is secondary alkyl halide. Secondary alkyl halide. Your option is fourth one for question number 69. Clear? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ರೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 70. IUPAC name of the compound. IUPAC name of the compound is CH3CH. Question number 70. CH3 CH double bond CH single bond CS2 Br. CS2 Br. So here first preference will be given to halose atom. Hence numbering start from this side 1, 2, 3, 4. Clear? So IUPAC name of this compound is 1-bromo. So there are 4 carbon atoms. So but2ene. 1-bromo, but2ene, or 1-bromo, 2-butene. So or 1-bromo, 2-butene. 1-bromo, 2-butene, or 1-bromo, but2ene. Clear? So your option is, so first option is wrong, 4-bromo. Second option is 1-bromo, but2ene. So second option is right. So second option is correct for question number 70. Clear? Next, let us move on to the question number 70. Which of the following belongs to the class of vinyl halides? Vinyl halides. So for the question number 71, vinyl halides are C double bond. So look here, C double bond, C, it is like this. So this is allylic carbon. Allylic carbon. So this carbon is vinylic carbon. Vinylic carbon. So this is the vinylic carbon. So your question is, which of the following belongs to the class of vinyl halide? So first one, so option 1 for the question number 71. So option 1, CH2 double bond CH, CH2, double bond CH, single bond CH, Br, CS3. So this is the allylic halide. So look here, this is the allylic carbon, hence it is allylic halide. Allylic halide. So our vinyl halide. Then second one. The second option CH3, C, Br, double bond CH2. So this is the vinylic carbon. So look here, second one CH2, double bond C, Br, CS. Clear? So this is the the compound given is CH3, C, double bond CH2. So here Br. Note, this is the vinylic carbon. Hence, this is the vinyl halide. Hence, second option is correct for the question number 71. So, third one is not a vinylic halide. So, this is allyl halide. So, fourth one is allyl halide. So, fourth one is allylic halide. Fourth one is allylic halide. So, CH3, CH, double bond CH, single bond CS2Br. So, this carbon atom is allylic carbon. Hence, this halide is allylic halide. Clear? Next. Let us move on to the question number 72. So, which one of the following reagents will not convert ethyl alcohol into ethyl chloride? For the question number 72. So, which one of the following reagents will not convert ethyl alcohol to ethyl chloride? First one, zinc chloride and HCl and zinc chloride, that is used to convert ethyl alcohol to ethyl chloride. So, first one is correct. So, CH3, CH2, so OH, which reacts with HCl in the presence of Z and Cl2 to form CS3CH2OH plus HCl. So this is used. The second one, carbon tetrachloride CCl4. So this is not. So this can be used. So not convert anta helidare. For the second one, question number 72, your option is second one. Similarly, in the third case, CH3, CH2, OH, this is ethyl alcohol, so which reacts with phosphorus pentachloride. So the bond breaks occurs like this: C2, CS3, CH2, Cl, CS3, CH2, Cl. So here also one Cl, and then PO, Cl3. So ethyl chloride plus phosphorus oxychloride and HCl. So PCl5 is also used to convert ethanol to. So HCl and zinc chloride is used, PCl5 also used. Then fourth one, SOCl2. So ethanol, CS3CH2OH, which reacts with thionyl chloride or sulfonyl chloride. So the reaction is carried out in the presence of pyridine. So this is called the Darjan's process. So in this reaction, bond breaks occurs like this. So one Cl can form a bond with this ethyl group, and other chlorine atom can form a bond with H. The remaining SO plus OSO. So to form CH3, CH2Cl plus SO2 plus HCl. So this is also used, but carbon tetrachloride is not used. Hence your option is second one for the question number 72. Second option is correct. Clear? Not use ಅಂತ negative statement ಕೇಳಿದಾರೆ. Next, question number 73. Question number 73. Addition of hydrogen bromide is easiest with. Addition of hydrogen bromide is easiest with. ನೋಡಿ ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈಸಿಯಾಗೆ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ hydrogen bromide is easiest with. So it is an example for electrophilic addition reaction. So more the stable carbocation, faster is the rate of reaction. Clear? So for the question number 73, more the stable carbocation, more the stable carbocation formed. ನೋಡಿ ಅಗರ ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಬೋಕ್ಯಾಟನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ so faster is the rate of reaction. So faster is the rate of reaction. More the stable carbocation form, faster is the rate of reaction. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಬೋಕ್ಯಾಟನ್ ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ? ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿ fourth option CH3. So CH3 double bond CH2. So in the presence of H plus, so it can accept proton. This results in the formation of CH3 bond CH3. So this is the 3-degree carbocation. This is more stable. To the more stable carbocation, finally Br minus nucleophile is attacked. This results in the formation of the final compound CH3C CS3 Br CS3. So due to the formation of more stable carbocation from fourth option, the HBr is easily reacts with the isobutene. So your option is fourth. Clear? So for the question number 73, fourth option is correct. Next, let us move on to the question number 74. Intermediate during the addition of HCl to propene in the presence of peroxide is. Not intermediate during addition of HCl to propene. ಯಾವ intermediate ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So intermediate compound is, so look here, in the presence of peroxide ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So among HCl, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು HCl ಇದೆ, among HX. So look here for the question number 74. So among hydrogen halides, only HBr gives free radical reaction. So only HBr gives free radical reaction. And other hydrogen halides, so other hydrogen halides like HCl, HI and HF, HCl, HI and HF gives ionic reactions. So therefore only with HBr. So agar HBr ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ? So in the presence of peroxides ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ, in the presence of peroxides catalyst, HBr ಮಾತ್ರ peroxides ನ only the HBr gives free radical reaction, but HCl, it is an ionic reaction. Ionic reaction means electrophilic addition reaction. This is free radical addition reaction. So HBr undergoes free radical addition reaction with the alkenes. HCl, HI, and HF, they undergoes electrophilic addition mechanism. So therefore, in case of, so in electrophilic, in electrophilic addition reactions, so intermediate is carbocation. Intermediate is carbocation. Intermediate is carbocation. So more stable carbocation is with propene CH3. So CH3, CH, double bond CH2. So in the presence of H plus, so look here, it gives CH3, CH plus, CH3. So this is more stable. This is more stable. So hence your option is second one. So second option is correct for question number 74. Clear? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ, among hydrogen halides HBr, it gives a free radical addition mechanism. Other than HBr, HI, HCl and HF, they involve electrophilic addition reactions. Clear? Next, question number 75. Which of the following is correct for the reaction? Which of the following is correct for the reaction? Question number 75. Propene with HBr, CH3, CH, double bond CH2. So with HBr, so it undergoes anti-Markovnikov's rule. Among HBr, among HX, HBr gives free radical addition mechanism. So therefore, so it undergoes free radical addition reaction. It follows anti-Markovnikov's rule. So in anti-Markovnikov's rule, negative part adds on to the double bonded carbon, which carries more number of hydrogen atoms. This results in the formation of CH3CH2 CH2Br. Means it follows anti-Markovnikov's rule. Electrophilic substitution wrong. Anti-Markovnikov's second option is right for question number 75. Clear? Next, question number 76. Which is most stable radical? Not here. Which is most stable radical? So stability of free radical, that also depends on the resonance concept. Stability is due to resonance. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ, ಮಿಥೈಲ್ ಫ್ರೀ ರಾಡಿಕಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲೈಲ್ ಫ್ರೀ ರಾಡಿಕಲ್, ethyl free radical and phenyl free radicals. So among the given 4 free radicals, so for the question number 76, so look here, allyl free radical CH2 double bond CH, single bond CH2. So it is like this. So it involves resonance. ನೋಡಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 electrons ಇದೆ. So 1 electron and also this electron can form a bond with these 2 carbon atoms, and 1 electron is accepted by this carbon. So to form CH2 free radical bond CH, double bond CH2. So due to resonance, it is due to resonance. So stable free radical is this one. So it is stable. So second one is right for question number 76. So first one is not stable. Second one is stable due to resonance. Third one, ethyl free radical, that is also less stable. Clear? Phenyl free radical, that is also less stable. So allyl free radical is more stable because of resonance. Hence, for the question number 76, second option is correct. Next question number 77. Which of the following halogen exchange reaction will occur in acetone? Which of the following will occur in halogen exchange reaction occurs in acetone? Nodi, alkyl chlorides or alkyl bromides. So when they are treated with sodium iodide in acetone, so iodides are converted into, chlorides are converted into iodides. So alkyl chlorides, for the question number 77. 77, alkyl chlorides, RCl or RBr. So when it is treated with sodium iodide in acetone to form so Ri and along with so NaCl or NaBr. So this reaction is called Finkelstein reaction. Finkelstein reaction. So conversion of alkyl chlorides or alkyl bromides. So with sodium iodide in the presence of acetone gives alkyl iodide. This reaction is Finkelstein reaction. Hence, third option is right for question number 77. So third option is correct. Clear? Next, let us move on to question number 78. Toluene with bromine in the presence of ferric bromide catalyst, the reaction is called. So for the question number 78, toluene C6H5CS3, when it is treated with bromine, in the presence of ferric bromide catalyst. So it undergoes, note, suppose if the same reaction is carried out in the presence of sunlight, it undergoes side chain substitution reaction. So here nuclear substitution reaction. So nuclear substitution. This is ortho-para directing group. To form, in this case, toluene gives orthobromotoluene and parabromotoluene. So CS3, so here Br plus 2 HBr. Orthobromotoluene and parabromotoluene is obtained when toluene reacts with bromine in the presence of ferric bromide catalyst. So this is an example for nucleophilic substitution wrong, free radical addition wrong, electrophilic substitution. So this is nuclear. So so here the electrophile, so Br plus, it is directly attached to the benzene nucleus. That is nuclear substitution. Means it is electrophilic substitution reaction. Clear? So reaction of toluene with bromine in the presence of ferric bromide catalyst to form orthobromotoluene and parabromotoluene. So this is an example for electrophilic substitution. Even now nuclear substitution. Suppose if the same reaction is carried out in the presence of sunlight, so aವಾಗ bromine ಎಲ್ಲಿ substitute ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅದನ್ನ side chain chlorination, side chain bromination, side chain reaction ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. But this is nuclear substitution reaction. So nuclear substitution ಅಂದ್ರೆ electrophilic substitution reactions. Clear? Next. So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ for the question number 78, so third option is correct. Electrophilic substitution reaction. Next, let us move on to the question number 70. Which of the following cannot act as ambidentate nucleophile? So what is meant by ambident nucleophile? So if the nucleophile containing two donor atoms, nucleophile containing two donor atoms or ambidentate nucleophiles. So for the question number 79, so nucleophiles containing more than one donor atom. Nucleophiles containing more than one donor atom are ambidentate nucleophiles. So these are ambident nucleophiles. Cyanide. So first one, Cn minus. This is also donor, this is also donor. If carbon donor, cyanide, nitrogen donor, isocyanide. Clear? Then in the second case, so NO2. So in NO2, so ONO minus. So here oxygen donor, nitrogen donor. If nitrogen is donor, nitro group. O is donor, nitrito group or nitrites compounds. So in case of third one, SCN minus. So sulfur donor or nitrogen donor. So if nitrogen is a donor atom, isothiocyanate. Sulfur donor, thiocyanate. Then in the fourth one, OH minus. So only this one is donor. So this is not the donor, hence your option is fourth one. So OH which contains, so it contain only one donor atom. Node electron donate madidre nucleophiles anti. Ambident nucleophiles andre one nucleophile. So adralle more than one donor atoms irtave. So ambident nucleophiles. One donor atom idre they are not ambident nucleophiles. So hence for the question number 79, so fourth option is right. So fourth option is correct. That is not ambident. Next, question number 80. So which of these solvent is suitable for SN1 reaction? Question number 80. Question number 80. So which of these solvent is suitable for SN1 reaction? So to stabilize the, so in SN1 reaction, intermediate is carbocation. In SN1 reaction, intermediate is carbocation. So to stabilize the carbocation, polar protic solvent is used. So what is the intermediate observed in case of SN1 reaction? Carbocation. Carbocation stabilize ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ polar protic solvents ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So hence second option is right for question number 80. So second option is right for question number 80. Clear? So ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು SN2 reaction ಆಗೋಣ. So in case of SN2 reaction, the transition state is obtained. Intermediate transition state. So polar aprotic solvents are required in such reactions. But in case of SN1 reaction, so intermediate carbocation is formed. To stabilize the intermediate carbocation, polar protic solvent is used. Clear? So hence your option is second one for question number 80. Next, let us move on to the question number 81. For SN1 mechanism, which of the following is correct? Inversion 100%. Formation of carbocation, that is also possible. Inversion 100%. Non-polar solvent, elimination reaction. So 100% inversion can be observed, in case of SN1 reaction, formation of carbocation. So in SN1 reaction, so intermediate carbocation is formed. So therefore, for the question number 81, so second one is correct. So formation of carbocation. Formation of carbocation. But in SN2, 100% inversion is possible. So SN1 reaction involves both the inversion and retention. So non-polar solvent, no, polar solvent is required. Elimination, not elimination, it is a nucleophilic substitution. Note, SN1 mechanism, inversion and retention. Formation of carbocation, right. Non-polar solvent wrong, polar solvent is used. Not elimination, nucleophilic substitution. Clear? So your option is for the question number 81. Second option is correct. Next, let us move on to the question number 82. An SN2 reaction at an asymmetric carbon atom of a compound always gives. For the question number 82, suppose if we take optically active alkyl halides, optically active alkyl halides. Optically active alkyl halides use madidare ನೋಡಿ observe madre. This is the carbon atom. This is one CS3 group. This is one Br. So Br. This is one C2H5 group. This is one H. This is asymmetric carbon. Clear? So nucleophilic substitution reaction occurs only when. So to mirror image of this compound, nodi ಏನು ಬರ್ತದೆ? So CH3 bond C. So in this case, Br is replaced by OH. Br is replaced by OH. Then, so here C2H5 and here H. So this is the asymmetric carbon atom. So this is called inversion. So 100% inversion is possible in case of SN2 reaction. So enantiomer of the substrate, product with opposite optical rotation, that is also correct. Mixture of diastereomers, wrong. A product with 100% inversion. So fourth option is right for question number 82. 100% inversion. Product with 100% inversion. Next, question number 83. 2-bromopentane is heated with sodium ethoxide in ethanol. Sodium ethoxide, ethanolic sodium ethoxide. The major product obtained is, for the question number 83. For the question number 83, 2-bromopentane, CH3, CHBr, CH2, CH2, CH3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2-bromopentane. So when it is heated with sodium ethoxide, CTH5ONA. So this is 2-degree alkyl halide. 2-degree alkyl halide. So sodium ethoxide, it acts as a base. Hence there is no nucleophilic substitution reaction. Hence it undergoes elimination reaction. So look here, if alkyl halide is secondary or tertiary, if alkyl halide is secondary or tertiary, elimination competes over substitution. Elimination reaction competes over the substitution reaction if alkyl halide is secondary or tertiary. Hence, ethoxyidine acts as a base. Base is a substance which can abstract proton. So look here, this is alpha, this is beta. So this beta carbon atom carrying less number of hydrogen. So therefore this H and one Br eliminated as HBr to form CS3CH, double bond CH, CH2, CS3. So this is 2-pentene is obtained. 2-pentene is the major product. 2-bromopentane is an example for secondary alkyl halide. So secondary or tertiary alkyl halides are used. Secondary or tertiary alkyl halides are used. So in such cases, the elimination reaction competes over nuclear substitution reaction. Is clear? So for this reason, there is no nucleophilic substitution reaction. It undergoes elimination reaction. Clear? So hence, for the question number 83, pent-2-ene. So fourth option is right for question number 83. Fourth option is right. Next, let us move on to the question number 84. Aniline to phenyl isocyanide. The reactant R is, reagent R is. So for the question number 84, aniline is treated with, so aniline C6H5NH2. So when it is treated with chloroform and alcoholic potassium hydroxide solution. So these are the reagents. So aromatic primary amine on heating with chloroform and alcoholic KOH to form isocyanates C6H5NC along with the formation of KCl and H2. So this reaction is called carbyl amine reaction. Carbyl amine reaction. Carbyl amine reaction. Clear? So in this reaction, chloroform and KOH. So KOH is used. Chloroform and alcoholic potassium hydroxide is used. Hence, your option is second option. Second option is right for question number 84. Clear? So conversion of aniline to phenyl isocyanide. Phenyl isocyanide. Next question number 85. Which of the following acts as a poisonous gas? Carbonyl chloride. Phosgene, it is a poisonous gas. So for the question number 85, phosgene. Phosgene means COCl2. So it is a poisonous gas. So your option is first one. So first option is right for question number 85. Carbonyl chloride or phosgene that can act as a poisonous gas. So in a chlorofluorocarbons, benzene and methyl chloride, they are not poisonous. So for the question number 85, first option is right. Clear? So for the question number 86, which of the following is used as refrigerant? For the question number 86, chlorofluorocarbons. These are called refrigerants. These are refrigerant. Chlorofluorocarbons. So chlorofluorocarbons are used as refrigerant. Yeah, chlorofluorocarbons. So first one is carbon chloride, carbon tetrachloride, carbon tetrafluoride, and difluoromethane. So your option is fourth one. So fourth option is right. CF2Cl2, CF2Cl2. So this is chlorofluorocarbon. Clear? Dichloro-difluoromethane. So for the question number 86, fourth option is correct. Next, question number 87. Which of the following is known as Freon 12? So for the question number 87, so Freon 12. So here the first carbon atom that represents, the first number that represents carbon atom, carbon. Second one represents fluorine, carbon and fluorine. So one carbon, two fluorine atoms. One carbon, two fluorine atoms. So CCl2F2, CCl2F2. There are two fluorine atoms, one carbon atom. So Freon 1,2. So this is called Freon 1,2. Freon 1,2. One represents carbon atom, two represents fluorine, not chlorine, fluorine. So hence your option is second one. So second option is right for question number 87. Clear? Next, question number 88. Which of the following is gem dihalide? Question number 88. So which of the following is gem dihalide? So gem dihalide. So what is meant by the gem dihalide? Two same kind of halogen atoms are attached to same carbon. So dihaloalkanes in which two same kind of halogen atoms are attached to same carbon. So they are called gem dihalides. So first one is right. So option 1 is correct because CH3, CH, Br. So 1, 2 same kind of halogen atoms are attached to same carbon. So this is gem dihalide. Hence, first option is right for question number 18. Clear? And second one is vicinal dihalide. Third one is vicinal. Fourth one is not vicinal. Next, question number 89. Replacement of chlorine of chlorobenzene to give phenol. Phenol requires drastic conditions. But chlorine of 2,4-dinitrochlorobenzene is readily replaced. So look here. So replacement of chlorine atom of chlorobenzene gives phenol. The reaction occurs in drastic condition. No depths or not. In question number 89. So chlorobenzene. So chlorine atom is least reactive. In chlorobenzene, reactivity of chlorine is least reactive. So it is converted into phenol. So this is less reactive. Hence, drastic condition is required. So only at a high temperature and high pressure. So chlorobenzene is heated with sodium hydroxide at 623 Kelvin and at a pressure of 300 atmospheres. High temperature, high pressure, ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದು reaction ಆಗ್ತದೆ phenol ಬರ್ತದೆ. But 2,4-dinitrochlorobenzene, 2,4-dinitrochlorobenzene. So NO2. Here also NO2. 2,4-dinitrochlorobenzene. So this is Cl. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2,4-dinitrochlorobenzene. So it is converted into the phenol. It becomes very easy. So here NO2 as it is, here also NO2 as it is, here OH. The reaction is easy with NaOH. So with NaOH, it is takes place at high temperature and high pressure. So NaOH high temperature and high pressure. So it occurs at low temperature and low pressure. So reason is, so NO2 groups. So these are electron withdrawing groups. And also, so this decreases the electron density, at ortho and para positions. Note, with respect to this N what is ortho position, so electron density is least at this one, so hence Cl is replaced by OH. Clear? So your option is NO2 donates electron, wrong. NO2 withdraws electrons from ortho and para position, that is right. NO2 withdraws electron at ortho and para position. So second option is right for question number 89. Clear? So electron withdrawing group is NO2 group that decrease the electron density at ortho and para positions. So therefore, no electron density kadime agbitre in case of NaOH, so Na plus and OH minus, this OH minus ion is a nucleophile, it attacks to this position if it is electron deficient. So the NO2 groups which decrease the electron density at this ortho and para positions, that is why they are easily undergoes nucleophilic substitution reaction. So hence second option is right for question number 18. Next, question number 90. Reaction of toluene with chlorine in the presence of ferric chloride gives X, and reaction in the presence of light gives Y. Thus X and Y are. So question number 90. Reaction of toluene with chlorine in the presence of ferric chloride. So toluene, this is toluene, reaction of toluene with chlorine. So with chlorine in the presence of ferric chloride, FeCl3, so it undergoes electrophilic substitution reaction. Since it is ortho and para directing, so to form orthochlorotoluene and parachlorotoluene. So here Cl plus, so CS3Cl. This is orthochlorotoluene. This is parachlorotoluene. So when toluene is treated with chlorine in the presence of ferric chloride, so it is a nuclear substitution reaction, electrophilic substitution reaction to form ortho derivative and para derivative. So ortho derivative, it gives X anta helidare. So these are X. X is ortho and para derivatives. Then, and the same reaction is carried out in the presence of sunlight. So toluene, so it is treated with chlorine in the presence of sunlight. So it undergoes side chain chlorination reaction. So all the three chlorine atoms, hydrogen atoms are replaced by three chlorine atoms. So here Cl. So this is trichloromethyl benzene. Clear? So therefore, this is the product Y. So X is orthochlorotoluene. So X is benzyl chloride, Y metachlorotoluene wrong. X is benzyl chloride wrong. X is metachlorotoluene wrong. X is ortho and parachlorotoluene. Y is trichloromethyl benzene. So hence fourth option is correct for question number 90. Clear? ಸೊ ನೋಡಿ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಲಿಪ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಿಗೋಣ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.